Welcome to Loch May Monster Books and welcome to Caithness. This is probably the most northerly county, in fact it is the most northerly county on the Scottish mainland, which means it's the most northerly county on the UK mainland. We're in Caithness and behind me you can see Ham Harbour, beautiful harbour, and I'll tell you a little bit about it today. Beyond here, beyond Caithness, next stop the sea, the Orkneys and Shetland and beyond. This is as far as it gets. This is as far north as it gets. You may never have heard of it. You may never have seen it. But today we're going to start some of those coastal walks and pathways that are hidden gems on the Scottish mainland. I take you today from Ham to Scarfskerry along some of the most beautiful walks that you may never have heard of. So welcome.
Clouds on the mountain, look Jake!
Clouds are hanging on the washing line. The moon is shining overhead, and I'm moving slowly towards my bed. It's my time. The world is fast asleep now, yeah, it's my time. At the entrance to Ham Harbour, it benefits from this beautiful old mill, which seems to be fed by a lake from just behind it, and then eventually it runs into the harbour itself. To the top right you can see the walk that takes us off across the top of the harbour to Scarfskerry. The harbour itself is now in some decay. It was once the home of a thriving industry. It was used in the early 1800s by small trading vessels from the Orkneys, but it was the flagstone industry that brought major improvements to the harbour. About 1830, a man called James Bremner designed and built the harbour here and at Castle Hill. This helped begin the export of flagstone to the rest of the world. There are still signs of the original harbour and areas where the stone has been cut from the cliff. But today, nothing seems busier than the sea and my son stamping his feet on the ground. Yet it's still very peaceful and enchanting. Well, yeah, you can see how all the rocks have been cut out just here, huge chunks. But I'm going to head off now into the sunshine and across the top of the harbour there on my way to Scarfskerry. Just moving around the harbour to the far end of the harbour now, still looking out there towards the Orkneys, and if I turn the camera around you can see into the harbour itself. There's some seals just down below, and if I turn the camera around you can see the walk takes us down some fairly narrow little pathways, but quite adequate. Really well looked after, and there's some heather just on the moor there, which is typical of many of the walks around here. There's some breathtaking views across to the Orkneys just behind me. It really strikes me as you look across here at the rocks, the formation straight along the beach front there. If you look towards Scarfskerry itself, there are some that believe that Scarfskerry Harbour has rock formations strange enough that a meteorite may have hit some years ago. Who knows? But there is real man-made history along here. There are cairns and also a broch. And here's some more interesting remains. There's a big wall between us and these cairns, or whatever they may be. There's supposed to be a remains of an ancient chapel down here as well, and a broch. Well, here we are. It's actually in the field itself. We may have the right to roam, but we don't have the don't have the right to be careless, so be careful wherever you're walking. Gates are closed and animals are safe. Amazing to think that anciently, some 2,000 years ago, men will have walked these areas. These are cairns, from what I understand of cairns, and they can be small piles of stones that are marker areas, or they could be burial areas. There are some large chambered cairns in and around Caithness. Caithness seems to be a centre for cairns, and in particular brocks. I know there's over 100 brocks in this area, and many of them have not been studied at all, particularly these up in the very far northeast of the country. Let's just have a look over the far side there as I look into the sun. This one has got a marker post in it, which was used for something else, although I can't remember precisely at this time what it is, although I'm sure somebody will tell me. As we head on now towards Scarfskerry and just look around these cairns, I'm amazed just how long they've managed to exist, and many of them are in much better condition than these. I struggled to keep a fence up for 5 to 10 years. These have been kept up for 2,000 years. Incredible. It's wonderful to see them, and I'm looking forward as we look forward to the journey ahead.
Special song, the children's questions, they're all gone. There's no more bills through my letterbox. The TV's wearing its bed socks. It's my time. It's my time.
I can't see Lord.
I can see you, I can hear you.
No, I can't see the Lord.